I thought that, number one thing, we competed with them at a high level. And they're a team that you would think that with so many new guys, they would not be connected, but they're probably the most connected team in our league. And O'Banner and Williams play like they've played together for 20 years. And they're just bookends. And I just thought we did a great job of fighting, making their catches tough. And Williams still gets 20, but during the stretch where we needed to get stops, we got stops.
Yeah, Coach Mike said that he kind of got some 2019 West Virginia vibes with the win today. Do you sense any of that with this team?
I think the biggest thing is that we've consistently talked to them about why have all these good practices and have this good camaraderie that we have on our team and have great work ethic and not finish things. And, today we really challenged them about today being the day. It's a day game. It's the most fun games that you can play in because you can go hang with your family, be with your friends, and you got the rest of the day to enjoy the victory. So I think hopefully it's a springboard for our guys. But we have not been down mentally after we've lost. So there is a difference on that side of it because we've continuously been ready to play but not ready to finish.
Chris, when the players were in here, I asked them about this. What can you say about this team's resilience? After you jump out to the big lead and then Texas Tech comes back and takes an 8-point lead, but then you guys respond and pull off this big victory.
I think we've been responding all year to people's, we hit people, they hit us back, and then we come back and really make the game interesting and at the level where we can actually sneak some. But I think the biggest thing today is that we finally had a not today approach about it. And I think, Mike was huge during that segment where he hit, a couple threes, and he kind of we were stagnant when they took the league, and he came in and really, provided some senior leadership and really helped us at that point. When you got the two little guys out there fighting like they did, guarding bigger guys and really being just little menaces all over the court, I think that really shocked them at times.
And then I guess I'll just follow up because I asked Mike, him having played here with Barry and X, just how good in your mind is Marquise right now as an on-ball defender?
He's one of the better ones I've ever coached. He can generate steals and generate extra possessions for us. Our thing with him is when you generate extra possessions, those have to be good possessions after the steal. And valuing the ball after you make a spectacular defensive play is something he really concentrated on today. And obviously, what happened at TCU, we can't go back and change that, but we can change it moving forward, and he did, and that's a credit to him.
Coach, this was really the first game all season where you had a full roster and a full coaching staff out there. What can this do moving forward, and what is this team's ceiling moving forward when fully healthy?
But I think, number one, I'm tired of talking to Coach on the phone, I think that the best thing is that we're together now so we can kind of, it's not every hang up and then, one more thing, it's we can be as a group and our think tank is back together and our players are all together and we still are melting down physically. The COVID guys and me and myself and the coach, we're still struggling. Shane tested, positive 5 straight days in a row, and just this morning tested negative. So just having the group back is important. But what was also important is the growing when everybody was apart. Going and competing at West Virginia when we had, the opportunity to win that game. With very limited players, 2 guys on the coaching staff, 1 full-time coach, and to have the guys respond. So that lets you know they're what we're selling them, they're buying it. So now when we get them together, we got to continuously be at this level together.
And then as a coaching staff, how do you get the guys, you talked about the buy-in, but as far as to consistently day in and day out work, even after you have such a big win like this, how do you make sure that there's not a letdown for going into the next practice and the next game and so on? They've actually done it, and it's been, very fortunate because when you have, and we're still young, the sophomores are still the guys who we need to continuously grow for us to grow. They've been great. They know they haven't played up to their potential, but they've been great. And it's been consistently Marquise and Ish, just being great human beings in the locker room. Because it's so easy to be a locker room lawyer right now and talk about the bad things. And those guys have really done a great job of focusing forward.
We just got here, but we've seen what this place is like. And so I think that's really important for our guys to be that way.
And then Coach has always talked about trying to find a leader for this group. It seems like where we sit, Marquise Noel seems to be one of those guys that's constantly on the floor, directing traffic, encouraging his teammates. Would you say that he's really developed into a leader in your locker room?
I think so, because the number one thing with him is that when he came here, he didn't want to step on toes. He really wanted to try to fit in and just be, I'm going to be Nigel's backup. I'm good with that. And then it became, no, I'm going to play with him. And we said you're going to play with him. And I think that he is that guy. But Mark Smith's the other guy. Mark Smith is the emotional leader for us. Mark Smith is the guy, he's the tough guy. He makes all the hustle plays, the loose balls. That's why he's the lead rebounder in the league. And you wouldn't think that guy would be the leading rebounder, but he is, just off effort, energy, enthusiasm. So, the transfers have done a great job with leadership with our team.
Chris, what would you say was just the difference today over the last 5 minutes? Why do you think the team responded so much better?
I think, number one, that we've been there before. We've been there so many times, and I've been on them about you either dig a hole or draw a line, and we really draw that line and hold that other team on the opposite side of that line. Too many times we've dug a hole for ourselves and fallen in and can't get out of it. And today was the day that we actually stayed on the right side of the ledger with a win. And you got to overcome stuff like this if you're gonna grow as a team. We've been talking about the process with them. You can't skip it. You can't jump it. We would love to be 3-2, 2-3, 4-1 maybe, but we're not. We're 1-4. So now we have to build on that, and we got to continue to show them a high level of confidence. And that's to Coach Weber's credit. Him continuously showing a lot of love to those dudes in their darkest hour. When they've struggled, when they missed layups, when they've blown assignments in film. But he made those guys all watch film, come in, and kind of do their own presentation. And that's been great for our guys, because Nigel Pack's not a talker. He's a scorer. He's a basketball player. But to make him talk helps everybody around to say, okay, we'll follow that guy too. We believe, he knows what he's supposed to be talking about. And to make those guys do presentation was great for us.
I also wondered, do you think Mike, being a super senior, having all the experience that he did, brought a calming effect to the lineup today?
Today, he definitely did. He was very calming. He came in, he hit threes, he did what he's supposed to do as a player in our system. And, he's got a pedigree that he has to make. And we told him, your pedigree has to show that you were with the real guys. Those championship guys, your pedigree has to show from here on out. And he came in our office the next day and he said, 16 left. And that was important that he took it the right way, and he took it to our team and told them how many we got left, and we need to grow from here.
How much more, or I guess, how good do you think Nigel Pack has been this season, and how much more potential do you think he has?
I think he can be a lot better. I think that, he gets 14 and 7 today, and the only play he wants to talk to me about after the game is I should have dunked that offensive rebound. Not some of the great rebounds he had, like in the traffic and the post defense against some of their big guys. He wants to dunk it, but I think he can grow. I think he can shoot it better. I think he can shoot it better. He's not used to the speed of everybody concentrating on him all the time, and that's where he's got to grow. The game's got to slow down for him, and it will, and it is, because when he's shooting it in a magic way, we're pretty good.
And then Luke hit his first three since December 5th, I think it was.
Wichita.
Yeah, Wichita State game. So, where he hit two of them. So how key is that for him and his confidence going forward? It's
huge. And I've told him every day, I mess with him, call him IP, you make all of them in practice. Now you got to start making some in the game. And he did today, and he took a big charge after that. So, we need him to make those shots because he's always open. He does a good job of finding the spots to be open. And when you've been a scorer your whole career and you're not doing that, he's really struggled with it mentally. But hopefully today, get him going.
Seems like the backcourt's been pretty solid all season. The front court's been coming along. What is your take on the front court? Obviously, they played well enough to get the win today.
Well, they know they have to get better. And Davion's been through everything you can possibly go through. Now his body looks way better than beginning of the year. And he's coming around. He's being more physical. He's catching the ball better. I just think they take time. Those bigs take time, and we want him good right now because of where everybody saw him at the end of last year. We want him back there immediately, and I think he knows that. But they're a work in progress. But we have not quit on them, and we've really worked hard to gain their level of confidence as a player. And I thought Davion was great today defensively, despite how good Williams is. I thought he did some good things defensively for us on the ball screen stuff and keeping Kevin McCullough out of the paint as a helper and keeping all the drive stuff out of the paint. We did a great job with that today, and it started with him.
Chris, did their token pressure kind of almost assist you guys to transition into offense in the half court?
I think so at times. So when they did that, and a couple of times they tried to trap, they gave us wide open threes right away, and we hit both of them back to back on them, and then they stopped being aggressive in it. And it really helped us to really slow our guys down and to be, we talk about being mission focused every single play, and it really allowed us to concentrate after the press, which was token, to really get set up and really run stuff. In the beginning of the game, we did a great job with it. Then they hit us with a lot of Williams, and he's good. He makes you change things offensively and defensively, how you do stuff.
And were there any changes at halftime? How much did you guys play more efficiently in the second half on the offensive end?
But we told them, like, when we call something, just because they try to force you a different way, still execute it. And we did a great job of executing on the other side of the floor. So if they're forcing us left, we just changed the side and ran it left. And I think that was really, really helpful to our guys just making the right play and the play that was in front of them instead of trying to fight the game and fight the pressure to run something the other way.
Offensively, it seemed especially early you were more efficient, but it looked like you didn't settle for shots and maybe made the extra pass or the ball fake and got a better shot. How big is that for this offense?
That was huge, and we've been talking about one more a lot with this team. One more pass, one more, and we get on them when the person who's wide open doesn't scream one more. And we had a lot of one more yelling today than we've had, in a really long time, and it showed. The extra pass was there. Nigel was open a lot today, and he's kicking himself by the ones he missed wide open on extra passes. And we got to continue to do that, because when we do that and we play that way, it allows our defense to really set up and set in and really be really good at what we do.
I want to ask about Selton. I mean, you got the win without him having his best game, but early in the season he played at a really high level. If he was able to get that back in this conference play, what would that do for you?
I think it does a lot, because he still does what he does defensively, and that can't be overlooked. He still locks dudes up, and I think he doesn't get credit because the other dudes are more dynamic and he's more of a businessman. He just goes about his business and does what he's supposed to do. We need him to quit passing shots up, and I think that's his biggest thing. We keep telling him there's no more open than wide open. You won't step out of bounds if you just shoot an open shot. And he's got to gain confidence in his jumper, and that's where it is with him. He's got to let it go, and you got to, and he works at it, and that's the thing. If he didn't work at it, we wouldn't be as adamant about him shooting wide open shots as we are.
And then you got your whole team back, but another tough battle in Austin coming up, and with Texas. How are you going to motivate the team to stay focused and get another win down there?
I think we haven't had a focus issue. We've had a finishing issue. So I think we're going to take this and hopefully grow from it, but I don't think we won't go there and compete. I think we've been competing. I think that sometimes they don't understand why they're competing, and that's why it hasn't resulted in victories. And we've really asked them to turn their emotional ears off. Sometimes when things are in the guts of the game and something happens, you can't be emotional about it. You just got to go to the next play, and you have to really focus on what's the task at hand.
Chris, I just wanted to ask, just how important was this win, if for no other reason, just not just in the losing streak, but just the confidence of walking away and not having another close loss on the ledger?
I mean, it was huge. Coach has done a great job continuously motivating these guys to compete on a daily basis in practice and to show up in games. And even when we haven't been around, like, it's been so hard to relay what we're trying to say, and you're not in the building, because you can't build a culture on Zoom or over voice or over the speakerphone. You can't. It's just not realistic. but you got to have your guy there, and just continuously him saying how it is, what it is, where it should be in front of him is really important. And it's huge for us. It was great for our guys. It was great for the Purple Nation. Everybody needed it. We all needed that victory, and it was good to get one.
Texas Tech came off a week where they beat Kansas, they beat Baylor. You guys played Texas, then you played Kansas and Baylor. Just how big of a win was it for the guys today, if no other reason, just to know that they're able to compete with whoever, and even if they're at the top of the league?
Well, styles make fights, and it's what we've tried to promote to them. Guys, we can compete with anybody and we can beat anybody, but this league is a mother. Like, this league is really, really good. And, when Mark and Ish and Keys came in this league, we were like some of the best defensive teachers and defensive minds that are in our conference. And, to what they see when they were like, this is unbelievable. Like, guys know them. People are calling out every single thing we're running. People are like, hey, go down here. You're supposed to be, you're in the wrong spot. And they're laughing about it. But that's where our league is. There's so many great technicians and statisticians in our league, and knowing what to take away and what to do. And it's a great league. I mean, and it is what it is after that for our guys, and hopefully they'll continue to build.